with us apparently.
Fuck yeah.
Me, you. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. What's up, internet?
My other computer.
Interweb? Yeah,
Oh, sorry, we're a
we're
little bit
back.
late. Doing a bunch of shit.
Doing some stuff. Making a post. Post is on the Instagram. Go like it right now for the algorithm.
Algorithm.
Please
Yep.
and thank you.
I wonder if I can
Uh,
link it. Can I link a
as
post? Oh
we,
shit.
yeah, probably. What is it? Instagram/FastTrack_music.
Yep. Yep. I'm trying to
Hey,
see.
Curry
Ah,
Engineer liked your photo. Very nice.
damn. Who's that? Sounds like a great person. All right.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so we are back, as we say. What is this? We've got cold tracks and even colder takes here
That's right.
on Fast Track Feedback Fridays. We've got quite a queue of music that we will be giving feedback on, as we do every Friday at this time.
10
Uh,
people.
so we've got some time here to listen to your music.
Ye-
Man, what else do we want to say? Should we go through the queue?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so queued up, we got Confederated, Young O, Jokerhead, Easy, Logan, Loki, STG, Arwen, Yikike. I don't know what. Like it. I don't
Yeah.
know. Fuck, dude. Avilo and Zale. Oh shit, Zale again.
Welcome
Welcome
back,
back,
Zale.
Zale. Um, some works in progress, some finished release. I'm all excited to go. Before we get started, just want to let anybody know that means the queue, the full, or excuse me, the free queue, I guess, is pretty much full. That being said,
Pretty much.
it's always open. We accept new ones, and we'll get to yours eventually. It's just typically during each show we get probably through 5 or 6. In this case, it might be 5, just because we started a little late, but who knows? We'll see. Sometimes we blast through a queue quickly. But that being said, if you want to skip the queue and be into the pay queue, that skips the whole line and makes you immediately next. And that's like a minimum of $5. And that's for people if they need the feedback right now. Some people got deadlines to meet. Then we can get you in and out of here with some good feedback uh, before we get to everyone else. So, yeah, if you want to, it's there. And without further ado, we can go ahead and go to the first track. Confederated Paraiso Official. Artificial, excuse me. First I thought it was Paradiso, but let's see. I'm not Spanish. It's Spanish Hyperpod. Oh, fuck, that's sick.
Nice.
A new rising genre. Okay, so it's a
Hmm.
finished release. Um, Looks like it's probably more for, excuse me, for promo sake, but you ready, Josh?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, Paraiso, Artificial, Confederated. 3, 2, 1.
Interesting video.
I'm liking the beat already.
Nice stereo thing.
Sabes que te quiero y no voy a morir. Puta, no soy Eddie, yo soy West
Puta.
Coast Real, pero aún así te quiero a ti.
What is this video?
Tengo
How do you achieve that
amigos
quality?
en la puerta de casa.
I don't
¿Cómo
know.
decirles que yo estoy pa' ti ya? Todo mi mundo está hecho pa' pilla. Tengo 1000 girls en la puerta de casa. ¿Cómo decirles que yo estoy pa' ti ya? Todo mi mundo está hecho pa' ti. Muchas veces sin verte los lunes se me hacen viernes. Y si vuelvo a enamorarme fue porque todo
I love the
me
breaks.
pierde. Puta, yo sé lo que hago, pero no sé lo que hablo. Por amor nunca he llorado, pero sí me maltrataba. Rezo a Dios para cruzarnos, pero luego me da pánico.
It's a crackly
Echamos
vocal.
al coche diésel, nos vamos, la noche prende. Hoy me he hecho una canción durísima, Invisible, soy para ti. Sabes que hoy no voy a poder dormir. Hoy me he hecho una canción durísima, Invisible, soy para ti.
This mic sounds like it's a
Sabes que
Apple
hoy
headphone
no voy a
mic.
poder dormir.
Yeah, it sounds pretty odd.
Esta noche voy a dar
But, like,
concierto,
he's
pero
eating it like this.
porque
Oh, yeah.
sabes que esta mierda me hace
Wow,
estar
wow, wow,
contento.
wow.
Tantas y tantos
Exactly.
remordimientos. Estoy en el estudio, voy corriendo. Si mi canción se pone en el concierto, voy a explotarlo. Si mi voz suena, el estudio va a petarlo. Si mis coros suenan, baby, van temblando. Y mi compa suena, baby, va a petarlo. Si
I
mi
feel like the
canción se
lighting
pone
in
en el
every
concierto, voy a
video shot
explotarlo. Si
Well,
mi
it's
voz
just
suena
bad
al
lighting.
estudio va a petarlo. Si mis coros suenan, baby, van
So then they like made
temblando.
the clip
Si
look
mi
even
compa
worse.
suena, baby, va a petarlo.
I don't
Fallo
know,
para
man.
empezarnos, pero luego me da pánico. Echamos al
What is
coche,
that
dicen nos vamos, la
filter?
noche prende.
I don't know.
Hoy me he hecho una canción durísima, invisible, soy para ti. Sabes que hoy no voy a poder dormir. Hoy me he hecho una canción
I like some of the stuff the
durísima,
beat's doing.
invisible, soy para ti. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sabes que hoy no voy a poder dormir.
Paraíso. Mix E mastering. Who mix E mastered it? Is it
Hmm.
to NL? I
Wow.
can't. I fucking hate the end cards, bro, of like YouTube. I just.
Where you have to, yeah,
How do I get rid of them?
or you can't see the thing.
Yeah, I can't fucking see the end of the video, bro. Like, come on.
You turn annotations off. No.
There it is. Still doesn't work. Yeah, I don't get it. There's a
Hmm.
way. But anyways,
Anyways,
that was Paraiso Artificial by Confederated and NL. Shouts out to One Piece watchers there, NL. But yeah, what do you think? What do you got vibes, first impressions?
it's interesting because I mean, the song itself, musically and vibes wise, is it's fine. There's like nothing like super wrong with it on that end. I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we were both kind of like a little off put by the level of purposeful like quality degradation,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like both in
And
the video
okay.
side and the effects and recording. Like I mean, I get that sometimes you want to make it seem like things are lo-fi,
Mm-hmm.
uh, but for some reason it felt extra careless here.
Oh, what's up, Menthol Slim? Thank you. We are having a blessed evening. I hope you have
Welcome,
one too.
you as well. But yeah, I don't know. I felt like, well, the video is one thing, right? Where it's like, how do you even achieve that low level of quality, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
are you using a phone or like? Because I feel like most smartphone cameras are a lot better than that today. Just
Yeah,
it's kind of impressive.
yeah.
But
They
there
gotta
were
be like
also,
zooming that shit in, or like
yeah,
just
that's what I
distorting
was
it.
thinking maybe. But also some of those shots and some of the filters that were used like just didn't make any sense. Like it wasn't like a lo-fi thing you were doing. It was like a that's not like directing. Like what
Mm-hmm.
is that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, and again, sometimes it's like you're trying to be funny or something, and so you're making things low quality, which
Mm-hmm.
is like sort of the
Dude.
thing. But it's confusing. We talked about this before when it's ambiguous as to are you trying to make like a good track or is it supposed to be like a parody? Is it supposed to be
Yeah.
so low quality that it's like funny? When it's
Yeah.
in that middle zone and we can't tell, it's like, are you trying to? Is it a joke or not? Like that's the
Yeah.
hard part, I think.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Actually, dude, I'm glad you brought that up because and Menthol Slim says it might be way too much compression. I think that might be something on the
Could be part of
vocal.
it. Yeah.
Also, I feel like the mic was literally like this.
It could
I
be
feel like he
either
was
that
eating.
or it could be just driving it way up into some crushing
Exactly.
thing, whatever it is.
Right. But have you ever heard the song called "Shoddy Wanna Fuck"?
If I heard it, maybe.
Shoddy wanna fuck. Shoddy likes it rough, and she's got a big oily butt. Do you know that song?
What? No, I don't know
Bro,
that song.
Menthol Slim knows it. Menthol Slim.
Good for
Okay.
Menthol Slim.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, Josh, you got to check it out because that's what this vocal reminds me of, like how it's processed. It's like, "Shawty you wanna fuck." It's like fucking distorted,
Yeah,
man.
that actually makes
But that,
sense.
yeah, like if you listen to lyrics, bro, like, and maybe that's the thing. Disclaimer:
Mm.
I don't speak Spanish.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Um, I did grow up in New Mexico, but unfortunately, I just don't understand Spanish as well. So
Mm.
maybe he's doing "Shawty wanna fuck" right now, and it's fantastic, but I just don't know
Could
it.
be. Could be.
But yeah, that's I get a similar vibe, Josh. Like it's a lot of um, a lot of weird, maybe purposeful, maybe unpurposeful degradations in quality, and maybe you don't really need it, especially when some of the stuff like the beat sounds really clean, for example, and then the vocal for some reason just sounds like it's a potato and it's just compressed, and then at some point you like bit crush it or something and then excite it, so it's like
Yeah.
a different timbre, and it's just It's just weird. And the music video, yeah, it seems like every shot was like terrible lighting. It was like zoomed in to like
Yeah,
100x digital zoom,
there's like
right?
144 pixels there.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, and then there's like Courage the Cowardly Dog scenes, and I have like no idea what's happening. So
God, that
I don't know.
show.
I don't know. It's a
Yeah.
good show, but it's like, it might fit. I just don't know any of the lyrics, so there's just a disconnect there. All that being said, my vibes, I think, um, I do like some of the beat that's happening. Some of the melodic stuff, it's nice. I feel like the drums overall could be boosted up. They're
Hmm.
kind of being buried by everything
Yeah,
else,
I
but
thought the snare could have used more oomph. You
for
know.
sure, yeah. But my vibes overall, I think it's like maybe 15% between green and yellow. I think there's a lot to work on here. What
Yeah,
about you?
I would agree with that probably. I mean, again, I think like musically, it's not horrible.
Yeah.
But it just the motive isn't totally clear
Hmm.
in a couple of ways. So yeah.
Yep. What do you got for content?
Um, content again. I think most of it is like pretty well arranged. Um, if we're talking about like specific sounds, again, I thought the snare was a little bit weak. That could have used more punch, more
Yep.
oomph.
Mhm.
Um, what else? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I guess I have more comments on the production side. But with content, like it's just average. There was nothing that really stood out to me though. Nothing that was like, oh, that's like a really cool section, or that's a really cool sound, or a
What's up,
cool
here thing?
breakdown, or a cool chord progression. It was all kind of like, okay, like kind of standard.
Hmm.
And I think it was actually uh, reduced a little bit by the production side. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I think content, I would just give it like a 50% between yellow and green.
Yeah. Um, I think in content we put vocal deliveries and stuff, right? Or
Yeah,
is that
yeah. Hmm.
because I feel like, and sometimes in hyperpop, they said it was Spanish hyperpop, and a lot of times in hyperpop you do have like a monotone delivery, but I feel like this was way too monotone. It was like monotone and like in a very low register, like this low, and then like the guy's eating the mic, like
Accurate. Yeah, yeah.
Shawty you wanna fuck. That's like, and like some of the melodies weren't very memorable to me. I think the most memorable thing in terms of the melodies was from the beat itself. Um, I think in general, um, like you'll speak on it in the production side, but drums could use some more oomph. Maybe the samples themselves are okay in terms of choice, and like the
Mm.
break beats, it sounded pretty decent. I
Mhm.
think the synth sounds sounded a little bit stock, um, so maybe they could sauce it up with some effects.
Is that
Um,
including the one? I mean, there was one at the beginning that was like stereo panned. Is that the one you're talking about?
that one was nice, I think.
I like that one.
There's like there's one that was like a background one almost like da, 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 and then there's like a bells that was like do no no na do no no na.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like those ones were a little bit stock sounding to me, which might be okay. They were just like way in front of everything else, so it was just
I could see
emphasized
that.
by the
Yeah, I
production.
thought they were decent, but I could see how that could be a factor. Yeah.
Right, right, right. I think most of it. I think you said it too. It's kind of hampered by the production. So, um, my content is, I'd say like 30% between green and yellow. What do you got for production? How long is the
Um.
queue right now? The queue is 10 people right now. I think
Yeah,
11 now actually, because Menthol just
I think it
slid
is
in.
11.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a long queue. We usually get to like five. We for those who don't know, we're here every week, so we have sometimes more submissions than others. And if you want to get reviewed today, uh, you just have to send us the money.
Yeah.
Just
So
send us a tip. Link is in the chat, and like $5, whatever, $5 minimum.
yeah.
We will get to you first, so you will be reviewed right now, here and now. Otherwise, we get to everyone that submits stuff, so you would be up probably next week. But
Yep. Yep.
yes, that's how it works. First come,
What?
first serve. What?
I just saw Kira thinks submission wasted time plus. So he's making like a remix album, or I guess we're making it, but he's probably the project head. Um, a remix album of HAC's album, and he just put in a remix there. So I'm
Oh,
excited.
okay, cool.
I'm excited.
So that yeah, production side, just to finish this one up.
Sorry, yeah.
I think again, I sense I really actually would like to see more people's like mix chain here to kind of validate some of our suspicions. But again, it sounds like that there's like a blanket effect going on where everything is a little bit squashed, like a little bit over compressed, maybe a little bit distorted, and kind of boomy in the low mids, or sort of in the lows even. Or actually, muddy might also be a good descriptor for that. But I just think it's like if you're running everything through some like saturator plugin or like some compressor and you're not really dialing it in all that much, you're often going to end up with muddiness, oversaturation, lack of dynamic range. Everything's just going to sound kind of muddled together, like melted together. Um, so I just would be careful, like you try to be more nuanced about the way you go about production. Again, maybe working on instrument groups and trying to get those dialed in. And there's different ways to do it. Like there is top down mixing where you start with the mix bus, do some tasteful compression, EQing, just in small amounts to try to make everything sound better, sound a little bit more glued together. And then you go to instrument buses and then to individual tracks, and that can be a good technique. Or you can do it the other way. But the key is not to make super, wide brush moves. Don't get tempted by cranking the dial up on the compression and then suddenly things are louder and so you think they're better. Always, always, always A/B test what you're doing with the same volume. Always do that because otherwise you're basically mixing blind. It's like painting with your eyes closed.
Yep.
It doesn't work. So you really need to make sure that you're always cognizant of volume because that's the first thing that your brain is looking for in assessing two sounds. How loud are they? That's like the most important thing evolutionarily. How close is it, right? And if it's more close, it lights up more neurons in your brain. So you want to be smarter than the caveman,
Mm-hmm.
balance them out level wise, and then figure out which one sounds better, like sonically, quality wise.
Mm-hmm.
Is it muddy or is it open? All that stuff. What you're actually going for. So
Ooga booga.
that's
True.
my advice there. But I think, yeah, production, it's like it's not terrible. Like the balances aren't horrible, although maybe some of those synths are a little bit bad. Not bad, sorry. The synths are a little bit loud. And then I think the snare could use a little bit more oomph too. And I think it could actually be a different sample that would help there. It's a little bit synthesizer ish, like that sort of like snare where it's just like a whoosh of air almost
Yeah,
instead
yeah,
of
yeah.
like a
Like
smack.
compressed air, like psh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
that kind of thing. I want
sure.
more of that attack on, initially, like you're actually like, a drum is being hit or like, or,
Mm-hmm.
simulating that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think production score, I would probably give it a 40% between
Mm-hmm.
yellow and green. Being generous, you know what? I would give it a 35%.
Yeah.
Sorry. But honestly, I think that it's like, I don't know. I don't think it's serving the song underneath it very well because it's so muddy. We can't, like certain things are more audible than others and others are kind of just getting lost and it just sounds kind of messy. It
Mm.
sounds too distorted, too compressed.
You're saying the mix as a whole, or just the vocals?
The mix as a whole, I mean, the
I
vocals
see.
are is obvious, right? Like the vocals sound like you didn't
Shawty
record it
wanna
right.
fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're just like you're either too close to the mic or you're using it like an iPhone mic, like a
You
headphone
eating it.
mic,
Yeah.
or you're just going, the gain is too high on the interface, or it's going into like a billion compressors and saturation plugins and then the mix bus. Like I don't know. I think it's fairly obvious. Maybe it's not, but hopefully our feedback will be useful on that.
Mhm.
Uh, but the whole mix, I think, is like the next level to kind of focus on. But if you want to go into the vocal side, do you have anything else, Chris?
Yeah, I think I've already said it, and I think you've already put it into better words than I could. But yeah, we talked about it. This the vocals. It sounds like you're eating a mic confederated. It's like it sounds like this, and the mic sounds like an iPhone speaker. So I know that it's a hard tip. Get better equipment. Like not everybody has the money to do it, but there are ways to um, not eat a mic and vocal
Mm,
delivery.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, there's that. It does
Equipment,
sound
by
like
the way,
perhaps what's up.
just to say, like, equipment is not really the bottleneck anymore.
Hmm.
Like, Chris is using an SM58 right now, which is an amazing mic that costs
See?
$100. And if you go to
Yeah.
Guitar Center, you can get one for $50. That's like lightly used. Like that's like
Oh shit.
5 Chipotles, dude. Like just
Mhm.
starve yourself for a week and you're good.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
like,
Human body can go for a long time.
yeah,
Just look
you
at
actually
Jesus.
could. You could
40
fast for
days,
that one.
40 no. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, I
I don't
wouldn't
know if it's
recommend
40
it.
days, but yeah.
Wouldn't actually. That's not our advice.
I think it's
But
3? No, that's water, I think with water.
well,
Anyways.
you can fast for a long time as long as you have water. Some people will go for a long time without water, but we're not advising that.
Yeah, yeah.
But just the idea is like these, like especially Focusrite interfaces. I honestly, like, I've owned a lot of Focusrite stuff. I'm not gonna pretend like they're the highest quality thing. I
Mhm.
think it's sometimes misconstrued that they are.
Damn.
Yeah, I know you've got one there,
I was
Chris. I
scammed, bro.
know.
I was scammed
I
apparently.
know, but
Sorry,
you were
guys.
not scammed. But the point is, these are
Thank
really
you for it, yeah.
affordable, and that's a very high quality
No,
interface
I'm not.
compared to what people had access to in the history of music. There's nothing wrong with it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. You could go for something like some universal audio thing, or I don't know. It depends what you're doing, what you're
Presses.
recording. Like if you're recording, for instance, guitars, you like might want to look into some a Personas thing, or if you can afford it, something with Thunderbolt, just because it's going to have different input impedance and lower latency. So if that's your application, that's more important. If you're just recording vocals, you will be totally fine with a Focusrite 2i2 even.
Get it?
Um,
That's what I have. Exactly what he's calling me out
really?
right now. He's calling me out right now.
Yeah, I mean, but seriously, there's a lot of good options. I was looking at like a little teeny tiny Zoom interface that has 2 mic ends and it's $70, and you can use it with your smartphone.
Mhm.
So it's the options are cheap, but again, the idea is just like knowing how to use the equipment is almost a bigger thing. Like if you're using whatever, like an SM58 even, which is designed to be used close up, but if you're right on it and you're recording for like a recorded track with that, it's not going to
Mhm.
sound good. So it's all about the
Right.
techniques. But sorry, we can finish this one up if you have any other production
Yeah, I think the
tips.
last thing I wanted to say, just and it kind of goes with Josh's point, is more supplementary. It's like I feel like when you're mixing something, you should leave just plenty of headroom before things start to clip or before you go master. Um, and so that way you can kind of like for example, I would say like the total master I don't even know what to say dBs. Like it shouldn't exceed like maybe 3 or 5, like -3 or -5, just so you have that headroom when you're mixing. So I think Anel, I think it said he was the one that was engineering it. Like I would just say like um, keep all the mixed stuff away from clipping or away from -0. Use that as a guide, like around -3 to -5, and then try to like balance everything from there. Like, don't boost the vocal up really loud, to where it's the loudest thing, and louder is better, ooga booga. Like, just use that as a guideline. Try to like set a top bar to leave some headroom for the mastering stage. Um, that way, you can kind of like balance the louder ooga booga effect with like, oh no, like I can't go louder than this. Like this is the loudest thing I can do. So, um, yeah, it's all like supplementary with Josh's stuff. I think I agree pretty much with what he said. So my score is 33% between green and yellow. Um, overall, exactly 1/3. Overall, I think that's about my score. Yeah, 30% between green and yellow. There's some cool elements here, but there's a lot that needs to be worked on, and maybe we're missing out on the Spanish hyperpop "Shawty Wanna Fuck," but I just don't know Spanish, so we'll
True.
we'll see.
So yeah, I can agree with that score. I
Mhm,
think like the basis of the track isn't bad, but it's just paying more careful attention to the way that you're producing it and mixing it, and like even the way you're putting together the video. Those are all important things for your listener to like take you seriously and actually get the value out of the song that you're
mhm,
recording, and not like shooting yourself in the foot by
mhm,
having these sort of reactionary caveman mixing moves where you're like, it's louder, it's better, it's done. You got to put some more care into it if you want to get listeners and fans. It's the music industry is not easy, as we know.
mhm.
You have to be good to like
Ooga
get
booga.
traction.
Yeah, there's a lot of people making music nowadays,
Yeah,
and Here Think says iPhone mic recordings can be good. They really can, actually. I forgot who was it. Was it Steve Lacy that said like he did a lot of his
Steve
earlier?
Lacy used, I think he used his iPhone, like he used GarageBand
Yeah,
and stuff. I don't know if he used the mic,
right.
but yeah, he did, and he said Silent Child, his
Yeah.
early stuff was recorded on iPhone 6, which is crazy. But yeah, I mean, there's some advanced shit going on in those iPhone mics.
Mhm.
They're really not bad. It's kind of crazy
Right. So if
if you
you
know how
have
to
one,
use it correctly, and it's like certain applications too. Like you can't really record a cello with an iPhone mic. Like it probably won't pick up those frequencies.
Mhm.
But it's made for voices. It's made for phone calls and speaker
That's true.
calls. So it's going to be good at that.
Very true. Cool. But yeah. Otherwise, thank you very much, Confederated. And
Yes.
Adele. Shouts out to you guys. There's some promising stuff there. We just think that there's a lot of stuff to be worked on. We appreciate the submission.
Dope.
So yeah, we can go to the next person in the
By the
queue.
way,
So,
we did get a donation
was that our
from
boy?
from our boy
Here, think,
here. Think. Thank
bro. Here, think.
you.
Thank you so much.
We
I
need
was
an
telling,
animation.
yeah, I was telling him like I was just like chatting him. I was like, bro, you don't have to like drop it back on the stream every time because I know him personally. I'm like, dude, you don't have to. He's like, nah, it's okay. And I was like,
He's a fan, man. We're a fan of you.
he rocks. I am a
This
fan
is
of
how you
Here
get
Thing.
fans.
Here Thing crazy.
Yeah, so that's dope. Thank you for that. We'll review yours right now. The
Just got a
thing
submission
is,
from Abstract Glitch, by the way.
yeah,
Thank you
holy
for the
crap.
submission.
Our
Anyways,
queue is very quickly growing, so
yeah,
I'm just gonna put the link there again.
yeah,
Not even say anything. If you want to be up today, then go
yeah.
there. Otherwise, we'll get to you
Free
eventually.
queue
But
is packed right now. We probably won't get to you today if you submit now. But if you do a dono like Here Think did, we put you to the top because Here Think wants feedback now.
yes,
So,
we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We have 14 now.
what the fuck? All right. We
So
gotta get listening,
just
boy. We gotta get listening.
just FYI, we get through 5 to 6 because we try to get detailed feedback, which we will do for yours as well.
What's up,
But
Sauki?
if you want to be reviewed today, again, tip. Otherwise, if you submitted last week, you will be up next week, and if you submitted just now, you'll be up in 2 weeks. So,
Yeah, we
just
need
a
to be
disclaimer.
faster.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right. Let's get into
or
it
you
then.
guys can pay. But anyways,
Either
let's
way.
do it. All right, wasted time plus. I am excited. Did he get Cal's verse on this? I know Ryan is on it. So actually, we performed this in Germany. Well, I'm not on it, but I was on stage with him at the same time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. All right, but I haven't heard this mix. So you ready?
Yeah,
Hello.
sorry. It was auto playing. Yeah.
You're good. You're good. All right, wasted time plus. Here, think. HHC. 3, 2, 1. Oh, what? No, wait.
Fat
I don't know
drums.
this. I don't know this.
These whack ass rappers, bro, keep wasting my time.
Castro.
Get up, it's almost 7. Time for you to rise and shine. Not me though, cause I was up like all night. Making music with the type of minds that inspire. And we don't fuck with sucker shit, we only drop 5. So I'm not surprised. I got all these motherfuckers trying to hit my line. But I done been through too much not to know you waste my time. See, I'm the only one for me, like I'm a fucking prime. I don't chase no diamond rings and focus on the grind. Tell them all to step aside, reclaim your space is mine. I'll give it to you, I appreciate you even trying. But show me what you could add when I'm already a dime, huh? Yeah, I'm standing on my own. Tell them here's my phone. I'm feeling hella strong and told them all to bring it on. Embrace being alone. I'm reaching final form. I fucked up energy in my zone. Take your ass back home.
I like that melody.
Cause I don't wanna waste time, don't wanna waste time, waste time, don't wanna my style is do or die. Every time we drop this shit, we do it with my eyes closed. Moms in my mind, like moms in my mind, like do or die, do or die. Take your time, stay, rewind, 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 rewind.
That bass line. Jinwa.
I like that modal thing.
What's
I'm
this?
slipping on my own, I've been feeling fine. See me back to when you took what's mine. Let me call it a boat, wait, oh never mind. In fact, I just want my peace of mind. Let's let the shit, I'll never sleep at hell of it. I never regret, I don't care what's wrong with the past. So that was really a mess, so baby, oh baby,
I think
oh
Jinwa's
baby,
energy
you
matches
the best.
the instrumental the
Too
most.
many memes and
That was cool.
reminiscence. I'm topping on a regular bottle of hell. Don't wanna get too afraid, some shit just can't escape. Ask me what I've been messing with the whole palette, yeah. It is a beautiful life, but it's a digital life. The grass is green, so shine, I can make you a
to the baseline.
I
Yeah.
think the other rappers should be mixed
Cause
like a
I don't
little
wanna
bit
waste
more
time. Not fucking with you if
optimistic.
you're gonna waste mine. Cause I'm
Like
trying to get it
here's
bumping
the
like the baseline. And honestly, bro, I'm just trying to have a great time. Have a great time. I don't wanna.
I also
Cause I don't wanna waste time. I don't wanna waste time. Waste time. Don't wanna. That's how I do or die, do or die. Every time we drop this shit, we do it with my eyes closed. Moves in my mind, like moves in my mind, like do or die, do or die. Take your time, stay, rewind, rewind. Have a great time.
down there.
So have a great time.
Oh, this part's cool. Wait a minute. How
Dude.
did this thing start? Just right away drums. Okay. I feel
Oof.
like you could
Thick
put something
drums.
like that ending near the beginning too, just to kind of ease us into everything. But
That
it doesn't
stuttering
work.
thing.
Yeah, yeah. That at the end there, like that was a nice little way to introduce everything. But
I mean,
um,
I don't. I mean, either way, I think would be cool. But I think like just those drums sounding so good, it's a delight to hear them right at the beginning. Either way,
they, that's a Hero Think's good at that shit. Let's put it that way. I'm trying
yeah.
not to say his name. Shouts out to Hero Think. Um, who's got W? Hey, hey, hey. Menthol Slim likes it. What do you got for vibes, Josh?
Whew. I mean, yeah, I love the fact that this it keeps it fresh throughout. You know,
Mm-hmm,
like man, that's like the step up. Like if you're like an amateurish producer, right? Like you're
mm-hmm,
gonna be like, okay, well, I've got like a verse and then another verse and then a chorus and then a verse and then a chorus, whatever. And the problem often is like not varying them enough.
yep.
And that's especially true like if any part is not particularly interesting. But I really like the chordal, the harmonic thing that's going on here. The chord
Mm-hmm,
progression is just interesting, and there's some like cool. I guess it would be sort of modal stuff. Like that bass line at one point does this weird flip where it sounds like it goes into a different key a little bit,
mm-hmm,
that I think is cool. And then just all of those filtered sections where, the drums sort of fake us out, and then they go away for a little bit, and you're not sure when they're going to come back in. It's like
mm-hmm,
not too formulaic. It sort of leaves you on the edge of your seat. And I think the vocal parts that were highlighted during those sections were also like compelling, well
mm-hmm,
delivered, fun. Pitch was good, mixing was good,
mm-hmm,
just everything kind of came together with those parts. So
mm-hmm,
yeah, I liked it a lot. And again, like the groove is good. Definitely is kind of stuck in my head now, which is good.
mm-hmm,
Um, but yeah, it was an enjoyable listen. I think
mm-hmm,
the only like real area that I could think of some improvement is maybe in the production side with certain things. But overall, this is like a really good listen. I liked it a lot. So I think I would give it like a probably an
Oh,
85%, 85% for vibes. Maybe 90. What do you think?
fuck, I don't know B minor off the top of my head. I was trying to figure out what Hero Think was saying.
Oh,
Oh, you got perfect pitch.
it's in B minor, but it dances around E major. Okay, yeah, that makes
So
sense.
I was gonna see if that's like a weird thing, but yeah. So this is interesting. I get to hear the more EDM side of Here Think. I feel like this is kind of more towards leaning that aspect versus what I've heard on the HHC stuff so far. Um, very cool. It's like a chill house kind of thing.
Mm,
Um, yeah, I think it's sounding very lush so far. The drums, as always, you really know what you're doing with your drums. It sounds fat, sounds full, takes up a lot of space in the mix. Um, the melodies that Josh, like Josh said, I agree, it's very nice, very catchy. And I have the pleasure of like knowing the previous version of this. I don't know if you've listened to it, Josh, but like I've listened to the HEC albums a lot, so I was like singing along and stuff. It was fantastic. um, but I also know the context from which like some of the vocals come from, and some of the vocals like come from later and stuff.
mhm,
um, and I also think possibly with different mics. I'm not sure. It might be all Jacob's same mic, but I don't think the recording thing is what I'm getting to. It's more so how they're processed. Because I would say, and I highlighted it, and here I think we'll know what to talk about when I say these names. I was saying names, so maybe Josh you didn't know, but like Jinwa's vocals, for example, and I think Corbin's, and I think also yours. Here I think. Um, like I think you're the one who says like I don't want to waste time. I've been rocking with you like that whole build up. You have layers and it meets it matches the lush kind of layer full instrumental that you have, and it's not getting buried by it. And those parts I think sound really really good, really fantastic. I think with Cashanova's verse and Cal's verse, they're very dry, and so those are the two beginning verses, by the way, Josh. The two kind of rapping verses.
Hmm.
Um, I think those ones tended to get a little bit buried by the mix, and so if you could, and the hard part about that is those two. This is a remix, right? So those two were um, recorded to a different beat, to a different feel, to a different energy. Like those two are really like kind of low key, and it's going to be a challenge, I think, to match that with the instrumental that he's made. But I know that they could do. I know that he could do it. So
Yeah, he said there were 4 different mics that were used.
four different mic. Daniel was on Renan's
I
mic.
mean,
Oh
dude, that's like
no.
it's like that video where there's like that singer in the vocal booth who's like singing totally off key, like all over the place. And then have you seen this? And then like the engineer is like in the booth
Sure.
like turning knobs and sliding faders and like running from one end of the room to the other, like sweating trying to get this to sound good. This
Yeah.
is like that, like you're dealing with 4 different recording mics and you're just
Yeah.
trying to get everything to fit together, and there's all these people involved, so
Yeah.
props to you, kudos.
Oh yeah, and he does this shit all the time. Like these songs were made like in the lock-in. You just take out your guitar.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out, and I have like a capo because it's tuned down to C sharp, but
Kill, kill.
it's that B minor thing, right? And then normally you'd probably have a 4 minor, but then he goes to that major, which is that kind of interesting
Sheesh.
sound.
Damn.
Or if you go
Ink. I'm just gonna call you Ink because here I think is too long, but
ink, yeah, that's cool.
Ink's got some music theory behind him. Do you know what you're doing in music theory? Or is it just like a guess? Knowing him, like
Uh,
he just has an ear. Like I don't know if
yeah,
he like I
I mean,
don't know
it's not
music
like
theory.
it really matters. Like I
Yeah.
before I studied all of that bullshit. Um,
Bullshit.
yeah, I didn't know anything about music theory for the first like 12 years that I was a musician, basically, and it doesn't make a difference in your creativity, really. I actually, I'll be blunt.
More or
I think
less.
that people who don't have much inspiration
Mhm,
need music theory as a crutch,
mhm,
sort of, or people who don't have good ear, natural ear skills, right?
mhm.
But the Beatles didn't know music theory, and they're not in diatonic keys
Hey, Ganic
all the
199, thanks for
time.
following. So,
Yeah, so I just they want to stress that like music theory can be useful for analyzing things that exist and
mhm,
potentially figuring out like why something is cool, but it is not a solution or a cure for creativity. You don't
yeah,
need it to do that. Um, so
yeah.
yeah,
I think you said it was like a tool, right? It's
yeah,
like
it's
more
it's a
so
tool, but I honestly feel like it's not that useful of a tool for
mhm,
creating music, unless
got it.
you are. In some cases, if you're working with other musicians, it can be more helpful. But I think
Mhm,
if you're a solo musician and you are in control of how you fit all the parts together, like you
mhm,
can do anything without knowing music theory, and it's just putting notes together, right?
mhm,
Like just because you know music theory doesn't give you an ability to use certain notes other people can't,
for sure.
right? It's just about experimenting and knowing what sounds good. That's the hard part. The hard part is knowing what sounds good, and you can't make good music with knowing music theory most of the
Mhm,
time, but not knowing what sounds good, right? So
mhm,
it's like you need one, not the other necessarily.
mhm. Yep. I kind of gave my feedback like
I was
pretty
like,
much like in all three categories, but it all kind of goes into the vibes. So
yeah,
I think there's a lot here that works really well. I think it's very lush. I think the drums are fat. I think it's very catchy, and
yeah.
I love the original. So um, I don't know what I was expecting. I thought I heard this before, but I didn't. So this is cool. I think it's like a lot of promise, but there is a little bit of work in terms of um, for me a lot of the vocal stuff. But that's kind of what I zone in on. That's like my specialty. So um, yeah, overall, I think agree with Josh's score 85, 90 between green and yellow for vibes. A lot of good stuff going on there. Content, what do you have?
Yeah, I think I already kind of
You
touched on
kind of covered
content.
it
Like
too. Yeah.
it's the way that things are put together is really intriguing. It changes often enough to be like I don't know what's going to happen next. It's not formulaic, which is awesome. And I like the fact that there was this feel that there are all these different people on the track. It wasn't just one voice we had to focus on. It was like oh like who's that? Like what are they trying to say? Like and you're it's like watching a movie where it's like there's interdynamics between these different characters. It's not just one person the whole time, although sometimes it is, obviously,
Mhm.
especially in music. But I liked it. I would probably give you a like a 95% in content.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think so. I think the only quote unquote issues are in production for me. I think the content is pretty good. It's pretty fantastic. Um, I'll just say green. I think it's good to go for content. I think what needs to be focused on, and if I were to help, if I were helping you work on this, is production. But I think if you've seen this guy work on FL Studio, he's like a fucking wizard. I always call him a
Ooh,
wizard. Like
yeah,
I'll
that's
have to show
cool.
you videos sometime, just like him at work. But
Nice.
what do you have for production?
Yeah, production again. I mean, I think like some parts sound really pro. I think the drums sound really thick and nice. Um, and just overall, I think you've got pretty good sound choices going on. Chris might be more attuned to the some of the vocal processing stuff. I thought a lot of it sounded pretty good, but my main gripe was maybe a little bit of crowdedness, especially in the upper mids. There's a
Mhm.
lot going on in some of those layers. Like there's, I don't even know. I'm not really
I
sure
think
what, and that might
I
be
think
part of the
that
problem.
honestly, exactly. Yeah, it comes. Yeah.
Yeah, part of the problem is that
Sorry.
there's a lot of different layers that are all occupying that sort of upper mid space.
Hmm.
And that's also often where a lot of the reverb stuff lives. So there's a lot of sonic information there covering up other things, and that's especially an area where you have to be careful about ear fatigue.
Hmm.
So if you have a lot of frequencies there and they don't let up ever, it'll start to fatigue your ears, your listeners' ears, your ears listeners a
Hmm.
little bit. So I would just be careful with that. Maybe like EQing things to sit, apart from each other. Give each thing its own little bit of space at least, to peak out. Right, it doesn't need to have its own, entirely unique space, but just a little bit of a dip in other instruments to let this thing shine through, and that'll just help make all of your instruments sound cleaner too. They don't usually need all of that space. You have to find what are the favorable frequencies and what are the unfavorable ones, and then cut those, and then see like, oh, now I have room here, and this other thing sounds good in that range. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's a message of get a method of getting everything to fit together in that space and not
Hmm.
step on each other's toes. So
Can do it
that's
dynamically too. That dynamic EQ,
yeah, and sometimes side chaining for certain things works. Sometimes for vocals that can be helpful, used in
especially.
the right
Yeah.
amounts. And what else? I maybe I don't know. I don't know what you felt about like the overall levels of compression. Maybe
Hmm.
on like the drums, like it's often the snare. I feel like that can start to sound a little bit flat, a
Hmm.
little bit one dimensional when you compress it too much, because your like attack curve becomes more flattened. It becomes more of like again like a frequency snare, like a rather than like a or that has that nice attack and then decay.
Hmm.
So that might be one area that could just bring a little bit more dimension and depth out of, especially the snare drum. It's very common for that to happen.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, I think I would give it a score in the production department of probably 80%.
Hmm.
I think. I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of aspects that are really, really, really good sounding about this. It's just
Hmm.
like it is important to make sure it's not too crowded sounding and doesn't cause ear fatigue,
Yep.
because those can be difficult to overcome if you're a listener.
God, I was just listening back. It opens with a Brie with Calmelio's verse, and it sounds so lush.
Yeah.
Her delivery is like super lush too, so it's nice.
Hmm.
I think I think you have a good pick of how this remix is going, Jacob. It's just yeah, my tips. Honestly, I think Josh and you could probably find the technical ways of doing so. Of making things better. Like Josh was saying, like the crowding in the mids. For me, like it's the vocals. Like I'd like to hear all of what Bree says. With Ryan, I feel like I'd hear a lot of it. With Corbin, I could hear what I needed to hear. But with Cal, I think she just gets a little bit buried. That's all. So if you could do maybe some sort of layer, or I was listening back, maybe a little bit more. I want to be hesitant with it, but reverb to have her Lush delivery kind of fit with that full Lush instrumental. It just sounds a little bit out of place. That's all. It sounds a little bit out of place and um, just kind of buried. So that's what I have to say. It's more so like qualitative because I think you guys can figure it out. But yeah, um, overall, I think yeah, there's a lot to like, a lot of pro stuff happening, and just a couple things to tweak. So 80 between green and yellow. I agree with your score. Overall, I'm about 85, 90 between green and yellow. It's almost there.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah.
would say the same. Like it, and that's what I was thinking kind of from the beginning. Is just like this is a obviously really fucking good track. It's way above the average, right? But it's just like getting that last mile of production stuff really honed in. This thing can fly if you get all that stuff dialed in.
Mhm. Yeah, like maybe put some like it's hard to do layers when you only have one vocal. He's done it before on my voice actually. Like in the run and remix, whatever you did, he did like a bunch of different like harmonics. Like there's plugins for that. Maybe like a
Oh
chorus
yeah,
plugin too. Like
hell yeah,
you can figure it out, but it's a hard job, I know. So good
yeah.
luck.
That
Thanks for the
the
feedback.
the
Appreciate the
engineer sweating. Well, everybody should try to find that video. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like it's funny.
There's a lot of
People would
versions of
relate
it.
to it. Yeah, there are
Yeah,
versions
yeah.
of that.
That is him. You should yeah. He's like one of the main guys that does a lot of recordings during the HHC lock-ins where we
Hmm.
just lock in a place and there's like 40 musicians trying to record stuff and
Yeah,
not everybody has the best technique and everybody sounds different. So
right. Yeah,
he's the guy. He lives it.
the
But
engineer.
yeah,
Cool.
Kengineer. Appreciate you. I'll see you next time I see you. Maybe Sunday? Monday? I don't know. I forgot what we said. But anyways, we can go back to the free queue unless anybody has donated to try to skip the queue.
We haven't
Um,
gotten any, but we should just announce if anybody has come in here.
yeah.
We have like a lot of people, a lot of musicians want feedback.
Yep.
And we won't be able to get to the people that submitted just now or today, because we have ones from last week and so on. But if you want to get reviewed today, just donate to that link, $5 minimum,
Mhm.
and we will get to you today. Otherwise, it'll probably be in 2 weeks, realistically, because we've got enough to fill up next week's stream as
Yeah.
well.
Unless everybody deletes their track. But
Yeah.
anyways, unlikely, right?
Yeah,
So in,
right.
in the queue we have right now, it's your guys' opportunity to skip ahead. We have Young O, we have Jokerhead, we have Easy, Logan, Loki, ST Chi, Arwin, Hikeke, or Laikeke, I don't know. Avulo, Zale, Menthol Slim, you're number 11, Abstract Glitch, and God's Warrior. So a lot of people there. If you heard your name after the number I have my fingers up. After the number like 4 or 3, even, we probably won't get to you this week. So if you need feedback today, you can hit that tip. Otherwise, if it's not urgent, then just kick back and we'll get to you eventually.
Yes.
Cool. All right. I don't think we'll have any donos right now, so we'll go and just go to the Young O track here, IDK. That is a finished release, and its description says it's for fun. So cool. Music is for fun, right? At the end of the day. Tell
Yes.
me what y'all think about the song. Young O, you ready?
Damn, is that his Corvette?
I don't. Yeah, it looks like he just like on campus or something, and just
He found
oh,
a
this is a
Corvette.
Corvette. That's pretty funny.
Is this? Wait, what did he say? What genre it is?
No idea. No, IDK. I
All
don't
right.
think he has an idea. So
Okay.
we're going in blind. All right, IDK, Young O. Three, two, one. I didn't click it. There it is.
Excellent.
1, 2, 3, 4, kick your door, get on the floor. 5, 6, 7, 8, don't make no noise, I'll eat your
hip-hop?
fat.
Uh-oh, auto-tune?
9, 10, 11, 12, put that man's head on the. You can say your best hit.
What's-
You
what?
can use your
Does that
best
have
hit.
bleep?
Sip on water,
Yeah.
feel like flogger. AMG coming, no Glock out. How am I gonna take those on your girl like clothes, no closet? While you worry about me making deposit, I'm in the mouth like water, no faucet. Yeah, if there's a problem, we can solve them, yeah. Got a lot of weathers for the drama.
no.
Try to understand me, please don't judge me if you ever see a
Hold on.
body.
I'm trying to
If
catch
you
the
ever
bars.
see a body, get out of here, alright?
You
If
trying
you
to catch
ever
the
see a
vibe?
body,
Bars.
Oh.
if the ops out, yeah, I'm a rock out.
Focus.
Batman, turn a fat man to a shot man. Yeah, he a dead man, he a dead man for what he said, man. He see me, I see him, he turn to the gingerbread man. I'm a madman, feel like a bad man.
Gingerbread
No, I
man?
don't want to throw things on you like I'm that man, or I'm that man. Yeah, no, I don't want to be that man, or that man. There's too many
I want to
men,
be
so I don't wanna
Batman?
be
Is
like
that what he said?
damn man.
I want to be that man. I want to be bad man. Dad man.
This sounds like it's
Yeah.
an iPhone
Yeah,
speaker, but it's
Got
recorded in
me,
the
capital
opposite
G,
corner of the
pulling
room.
up Kim and
Yeah.
I'm on do, yeah. Little boy stay in your leg. Tell you boy, I'ma bring the pain, okay? I'ma bring the shame, yeah. I don't like his, I don't like fans, I don't like ones, I don't like tens, yeah. Hey. Feel like your friend,
Bro,
I know
there's so
my
much
man.
mess in
Like
there.
the grip, we don't got plans.
What is the vocal processing here?
Let's listen.
Champagne bottle, I'm sipping. Say I'm a champion, you might as well call me pimpin'. Got this ice, I ain't trippin', yeah. Yeah, we smoke these ups, then we pop out, yeah. Just give me a drop on your spot, I'ma rock out. If you just smoke, purple Glocks, yeah. Well, make sure the back door lock. Come on with time, I don't need
It's
a
off
clock.
beat!
Yeah, no, I don't need no clock
It's
or a
off
Glock.
beat.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hold on.
Kick your door, get on the floor. 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't make no noise, I'll eat your face. Yeah, 9, 10, 11,
think-
12. Put that man's head on the.
The beat.
Oh fuck! Stop autoplaying. Oh
Oh,
my
shit.
god.
That autoplay said it really good, actually.
Yeah, but it
Was it
sounds
Thank You
similar.
Momo?
I don't. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Um.
IDK, man, Young O. You know that there's some good laughs in there. I don't
My
think I
brain
caught.
hurts.
Yeah, I don't think I caught one bar that was like good, but there's some
So
like I'm Batman, I want to be Batman, or
yeah.
like I'm in her mouth like a water faucet or something. I don't
What
know.
the fuck? Yeah, I feel a little bad. I feel like
Wait, is
w-
this like Shoddy wanna fuck Young O? Like, is this a troll piece? I don't
has
know,
everybody
but
heard of this song? um, I don't know. I just he said, please one more time. Man, it's like those auditions on like talent shows, like American Idol or like whatever, The Voice.
dude, Ganic wants to hear it again. You got
I
fans out there,
I
Young
know, I
O.
know. Where the judges are like laughing or trying not to laugh, and they're not sure if the contestant is serious or not. Like
Mhm,
I don't know if that's the case here.
mhm.
But if it's for like comedic value, I got something out of it.
Sure, yeah. The fucking beat was so unexpected.
The bleeps are so funny. Yeah.
Like, he was, like, just cussing and whatever, and, like, saying, "She in my mouth," or what, "I'm in her mouth like a water faucet,"
Oh
but then bleeps when he's counting. It looks like I don't know. This is really funny. But, alright, did you say I interrupted your vibes, right? What do you have?
I don't know, man. It's just it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. It was not high quality. Dude, I cannot figure out what was going on with the vocal processing. Like it sounded
Dude,
like it was
Ganic loves
taken
it.
from something and then sped up.
Yeah.
It was that kind of like messed up. It sounds like the audio is like stretched, which is
Yeah.
super weird.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's the case. Maybe. If
I mean, homie
so,
homie was off beat, so maybe he was trying to stretch it to save it. I don't
oh my
know.
god. But it was
But
it was like that everywhere. Like it was just weird warbling effect like
there was
everywhere on
it
it.
was auto-tune for sure.
He said redo.
Yeah.
Um oh man. I mean,
Redo, play it back.
that's the
Yeah,
problem though, is that if it's supposed to be just entertaining, right? It's like, okay, there's like some value here. If it's supposed to be good, that's a redo for sure.
sure.
Uh, so I don't know, man. I'm just gonna say develop, just to be cautious, right? Because I don't know. It's I don't know what to say about it. What do you think?
I'm gonna go orange. I think,
Orange, fair
yeah,
enough.
yeah. I think joke songs can, like with Shoddy. Okay, I can't believe I'm using Shoddy Wanna Fuck as an example, but like I keep coming back to that track, right? Because the lyrics are so funny. I can hear them. They're in beat. I can sing along. Like we literally put that song on in karaoke, but I can't put Young O IDK on karaoke. You know what I mean? It's gonna be off beat. I don't know what he's saying, I don't even know what if he's saying something that's like funny or just like weird or whack. Some of the stuff that he is saying, I think it's like some killer shit or like doing some street stuff, but it's very unbelievable. And that's not like I'm not like from
Mm,
the streets at all, disclaimer, but like it just doesn't uh like come across as believable. And like with the picture as well, it's like this is probably a meme song, maybe. I don't know.
yeah,
But there's a lot of clash with these vibes, and there's a way to do meme songs right, right? And I just if this was a meme song, it probably wasn't done right, and
yeah,
if it was a serious song, it was definitely not done right. So
right, right,
I'm like solid orange.
yeah,
I mean, fuck, we have a red for a reason, right? I'll put red as a vibe.
sure.
Better than Alexa's fart mode. I don't know what that is, and
You
I
can
don't want to
tell
be
Alexa
mean
to
either.
fart, I guess, but I will say, I think I could probably agree. I'd probably go down a little further, somewhere into the
Sure.
orange zone. I mean, again, if you're trying to be funny, maybe this is on that path to learning, right?
Yeah.
I think what's important probably for meme songs is for there to be intelligibility as to what you're saying. Because
Exactly.
if it's just bad, it's like who care? Like, why is that funny, right? But if
Yeah.
it's like bad and there's like a message behind it that aligns with that badness, that's
Yes.
where it's like people actually know what you're saying. And why would something catch on if nobody knows what the lyrics are?
Yeah.
As a meme song, it wouldn't. So that's important here. We're not getting that intelligibility for
Yep.
sure.
Yep. And sometimes you can have a hit song that's barely intelligible,
But that's because it's like
but the
good for other
melody is good.
reasons. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
there's just a lot that needs to be worked on, Young O. And I know it's for fun. So, but yeah, you submitted us for feedback, so we want to give you feedback.
Hmm.
I'm not saying to like quit or anything, but it's just like, hey,
No,
just look at your approach and maybe do it different the next time. That's all.
yeah.
Um, I kind of talked about it in content. What do you have for content?
Uh, content. Yeah, I don't know. Like maybe there's some lyrics in here that are funny or like cringe. More
Dude,
so is
Ganik
the
really
word.
wants to listen to it again.
I know. You can look it up on your own time.
Young O, give him some streams, bro. Or not Young O, sorry.
Organic.
Ganik, give Young O some streams, bro. Go listen to it. I didn't understand all the lyrics. Yeah, me neither, bro. And I was trying. I was
Yeah.
focusing. But
Yeah, that is a problem. So content, yeah, problem. We can't understand the lyrics. Some of them maybe are kind of funny. I like the bleeps. I'm partial to the bleeps.
yeah,
Uh, but other than that, it's just yeah, it's not
yeah.
great. I'm trying to think how to give actual feedback. Like if you're trying to be funny, again, the key is can you write something that people will understand, and it's partly with the delivery as well.
Hmm.
But that's just where it is. Like I can't really judge based on the actual lyrics because I couldn't understand all of them. So
Yeah.
content, again, probably somewhere between red and yellow. Like it's in
Hmm.
that section. You should rethink it a little bit, probably.
Definitely. Yeah. So, for a large part of the beat, I think he was on beat, and he was hitting some sort of rhythms. So,
But at the
like,
end,
yeah, there's some parts, and I think the end where you do the hook again, it was like the same hook, but it was like instead of starting on one, it was starting on three. Like it was like shifted for some reason.
mm,
I
yeah.
think the latter one sounded better than the first one. Um, but anyways, like I think that's like the least of the problems because it was on beat. Like if there's anything that's offbeat like that, there's stuff where it's like, oh, you could be off the beat or off the grid, but still be in the pocket. This was not in the pocket. This is way out of pocket. I don't know how to really explain it, but there's like a groove to it. This didn't have the groove. Sometimes it's like an ear thing that you just have to train to get used to. Um, but yeah, so I think the recording in terms of quality, not only performance but quality. Like I said, it sounds like an iPhone mic, but it's like at the corner of the room, and then you're at the other corner of the room, and like trying to rap from there, and it's like, you know,
Yeah, or there's like a. I mean, it sounded more like a natural room reverb than a simulated reverb, but like maybe there is just a weird like slap delay or reverb thing that
or
just
like
like
the
sounds
bathroom. It
odd.
sound like you record it in the bathroom or something,
Maybe. I mean,
which is very boomy.
I often say like I mean this one I would say I lean more towards the side of like bad recording environment, but sometimes it is just processing. Like sometimes the recording technique is okay, but the processing is bad, and it's very hard to separate the two. So
Dude,
I don't know, whichever it is.
Ganik is trying so hard to because he's like, maybe we could give feedback on the mixing when we listen again. Maybe we should honestly listen again.
Maybe the sudden yeah,
Ganik,
I'm
you're
not gonna
funny.
read it.
Yeah, you're funny. But content, like I said, I already talked about it too. The lyrics, it just didn't sound believable. There's like a lot of bravado, but I just didn't get that from the delivery, from the seriousness of this vocal. Thank you, Events 13. Uh, you know Organic as well. Wow.
Holy
Uh,
shit.
all right, but yeah, welcome to the party. It's just yeah, it's hard to take serious, and it's too unintelligible to be like a meme song. I don't know what you're saying. Um, and I don't know if this is like your first song, Young O. I've had songs that sound like this, so we've been there. Um, and the only way, well, you could make it worse, I guess, but for the most part, the most likely thing is the next song will be better if you take feedback, seriously. So, content, I'm again at an orange, um, for between develop and redo. And what do you have? Did you do a score for content?
Yeah, I think I said somewhere in the orange range.
And then production. I mean, what do you have?
I don't even know where to go. I mean, if you're going for a meme thing, maybe it doesn't matter as much, right? If
Yeah.
you're gonna just be played on smartphones, who gives a shit? I mean, well, not really. Like if it's good music, right, and it's gonna be played on a smartphone, then you should care, and you
Mhm,
should actually listen to it on the phone before you release it.
mhm,
uh, which probably not enough people do at this point
mhm.
still. But yeah, I don't know. Like it's distorted. That vocal thing was kind of like weird. It, like to the point where it was like, what am I like hearing? It was just distracting. If you want to have that meme quality where things sound bad, but it's like the whole point is just showcasing the content, that's fine. But I would be careful with things that are distracting, like that weird room reverb sound that's on the vocal. uh it's just odd. I've never heard like I've rarely heard that kind of sound, and it's just it doesn't help your message. So
Mhm.
that's the main thing. The rest of the mix, are things timed well? Like what's up with that warbling effect on your vocal? Like it was time stretched. Just it's just confusing, and that also is pretty off-putting, I think, for listening to the vocal. When you
Yeah,
hear that those artifacts, it makes it so distracting. It's really hard to actually hear the content
yeah,
when you've got that stuff going on, especially with the vocal. So,
yep,
yeah, I would say those are critical elements. I don't know like how much work was put into the mix. It doesn't really matter how much work was put in, but
yeah,
yeah, those are critical elements for what you're trying to do here. I would again kind of place it in the orange category for production.
yeah. I mean, this was it even mixed? Was it even mastered?
Who knows?
Like,
Maybe.
yeah, maybe. But yeah. What else could I say about it? For me, I'm still focused. Like, I'm a vocalist, so I'm just focused on what advice would I give this person
Hmm.
if they were gonna rap about the stuff that they were rapping about? Just be more confident. I think you don't even need like more energy per se, or be louder, or like be like tough, or like trying to like bark or some shit. If you're rapping about street shit, like you could do it. I don't do it because that's not what I do. But you could sound confident, in your delivery. This one, it just literally sounds like you're talking in the mic in the bathroom. My friend, when we first started making music on our phones, it was like a Android app. It's called Pocket Band U Loops. We would make fun of him a lot because he would do raps from his bathroom, and he would be trying to do it so that the other people in his house, mainly his older brother, wouldn't hear him because he's kind of embarrassed, right? So you don't get like confident delivery, and you could hear it in the vocal. And that's what I'm hearing here. Like it sounds like that's happening. And bro, if you want to do this kind of type of music and you want people to like it, you got to be confident.
Well,
So
the funny thing though is that like there's nothing wrong with it. You may not look, especially if you're doing a lot of takes. Your family genuinely might not want to hear you do that over and over and over, right? It's not like you
fuck
should
it,
like
dude.
go into the middle of your living room and record for 3 hours straight and drive your family out of the house. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that's the way to go. But like a closet, honestly, like go in the closet, man. That's a better place than the bathroom for fucking recording.
Yes.
Because usually there's clothes and stuff. Sometimes it's carpeted, whatever. It's like, there's a lot less resonance. It's almost like your own little vocal booth, and
Yep.
you can get in there and focus. Hopefully,
Hmm.
that's not a bad place. In some cases, you can have issues there too because it's a small space. Depending on how it's constructed and the dimensions, you can have resonance, which will mean everything sounds boxy and boomy when you record it in there. So, I mean, that's not the optimal way, but if you need to, you can. Probably the best way is either being in a decently well treated room where if it's just carpeted, it might be okay, just like that. or if you have like, curtains or something, or like some people will just put up towels on like the, flat surfaces to keep the resonance down. Or if you can get one of those little foam things that goes around the back of your mic, a little isolation thing, that can help a lot to reduce the room reflections coming in. That's probably the best way to do it if your room's not treated.
Mhm.
But yeah, just a tip there if it's useful.
Yep. Yeah, just try to make it like when you're recording, right? A vocal. The goal is to try to get it as dry and as true to what you're actually putting out into the world as possible.
And not
What
get the
we're
room.
hearing, yeah, what we're hearing is like your sound plus your sound bouncing off this wall, however many times against this wall, against this surface, and then
Yeah.
it's all coming back to the mic. So you're trying to get it as clean as possible into your DAW, into your mic, and then you could do processing to make it sound better and stuff like that. So that's the kind of goal with it, Young O.
Right.
Um,
But maybe that sound is actually a plugin. Maybe it's recorded
right.
fine. And in that case, what are you doing with that plugin? Like, how did you
Yep.
arrive at that? Maybe it
Yep.
sounds unique, but not necessarily satisfying the needs of the song. So
Very true.
just, yeah.
But yeah, my production's red. Overall, orange. What do you have?
Yeah. Overall, orange, like, yeah, close to red. Like, it's a matter of like thinking about what are you trying to deliver to listeners? Are you trying to be like a meme artist? Are you trying to make something decent? And you could actually be both of those, but in that case, you really will need to work on the production and the delivery, the
Mhm.
recording, the intelligibility of your speech, and like making sure the audio is, decent quality, not like warbling and weird stuff happening.
Yep.
So, yeah. But thanks for
But
sending it. Interesting.
yeah,
Love hearing all the variety that we get. Very cool.
dude, and you put in project description for fun. This was fun. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was
So
fun. We had fun.
yeah, we had fun. But Ganic loves it. Right.
Yeah.
So
Big fan.
um but yeah, anyways, we'll go to the next song. Jokerhead.
I think
Um
Jokerhead didn't submit a link. um,
no
there's one that's
god
just
damn
to
it.
his SoundCloud. Yeah, we'll probably have to skip that. Which
Jokerhead.
sorry,
What's the song called?
it's
Black
happened before.
Noir's second edit.
There's one on there with a similar title, but I don't know if it's the same one. And I don't know.
Yeah,
There's
Jokerhead will be back. We can ask him.
Yeah, he'll definitely be back. So
Sorry,
not
Jokerhead.
an issue. We've got time for two more today, which will be Easy and Logan. If you want to get reviewed today, you still have the chance to do that. We have a system where we have a lot of people who've submitted music that want feedback. If you want to skip the line and be reviewed today, just you can donate to that link that I just put in the chat. $5 minimum, whatever you feel is worth the feedback that you get, helping make your music better. And then if you submitted today, otherwise it's likely you'll be up in 2 streams, probably so in 2 weeks or so, or potentially longer if we have a stream off at some point.
What's up, Sauki Music? I'm Abstract Glitch just in case. I said an ID. What is an ID? A donation? Abstract
Um,
Glitch, we do have you, but so you are in the let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th spot right now. And like I said, we only have, or Josh said, we only have time for 2 more. So if you need your feedback today, you could skip to the top of the queue if you just donate. That's what we're trying to say. I don't know if you sent a donation or not. You said I sent an ID. I don't know what that means. We have your submission. That means we'll get to your song eventually, but it might not be today unless you donate. Cool.
Yes, yeah, it looks like you just sent a track with no donation. So
Okay.
yeah, I guess the next one we'll go to then is Easy, unless anybody is in the chat currently trying to donate. Let us know right now, but if not, we will go to Easy and then Logan. Otherwise, if you decide to donate during this one, then you will be the last track that we review today.
Yep.
Dope.
Going once, going twice. Gone. All right, let's do
Sold.
Easy. 134 BPM, A flat major wide. Okay, is this a type beat? Perhaps. But okay, you ready?
Loading, and yes, ready.
Okay, so Easy. Is there a song? Ambience. Finished. It's a beat. Okay, yeah, it's a beat. All right. It's probably a type beat for Cell. That's the context. You ready?
Yep, let's do it.
3, 2, 1. Got Yeet here with a mannequin.
It's a lot of high frequencies immediately.
What would you like to say about Easy?
Oh yeah. It's a fuzzy bass. like the synths on the outside there. That white noise sweep was pretty extra. There we go. That's cool.
Oh god.
Maybe that snare could be a more punchy. Are you laughing at the fart bass?
Yes.
I like a lot of the stuff that's happening here, but a lot of it sounds thin.
The claps are very stock, in my opinion.
Very, yeah. Sounds like the kick is kind of overpowering everything. I like melodically what's being done though. I really do. Like I could just freestyle this. Yeah, I really do like the melody. But that was Ambience by Easy X James X. It's not Cat.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Fuck you, autoplay.
Ready, haha. That's okay, but I enjoy this definitely.
Yeah, so Abstract Glitch did make a donation, so you're up next.
Yay!
You will
All
be our
right.
last track of the night.
All right, appreciate it.
But yeah, for this, what is it in?
Hey.
It's an E flat. It's just that repetition thing. It's very common common chord
I don't-
progression.
Maybe the chorus just like the synths. I like the synth melodies.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there's some nice choices in there.
It was cool. But yeah, what do you got for vibes?
I don't know. It is a type beat. I personally think a lot of it is kind of just like template, right?
Yep.
It's like
Mhm.
I don't know. You could very easily just like find something exactly like this somewhere else, and that's the
And
big thing. Like,
produced much better, by the way.
yeah, like if you're trying to be a type beat seller, why should I buy yours over somebody else's if it sounds like everybody else's? You know, it's like if you made a really cool, like unique sounding thing, it doesn't have to be like crazy weird or anything. But I don't know, like if I were an artist that were looking for a type beat, I would definitely want something that has um, some cues for creativity to make an interesting song,
Mhm.
right? Like yes, it's obviously it's easier to have an interesting song if the beat itself is interesting, but if there's like some part where you prompt somebody to like, you know, there's like a break, things drop out and there's like a clear spot to do something cool or like a weird rhythmic section that will make the song unique and it gives them a creative challenge to try to meet that uniqueness of the track. I
Mhm.
think like I would be way more likely to buy that and actually pay for it than something that just sounds like everything else that I could download anywhere or I could make myself, you know, fairly easily.
Mhm.
And maybe if you're trying to make a lot of these, like maybe it's worth considering, is it better to make a lot of different type beats and just pump them out quickly, or to make fewer but make them really good, spend more time on each one? So,
Mhm.
you know, there's maybe some analysis that has to happen there.
Yep.
But yeah, overall, I don't know. I mean, a lot of your bass parts do have a nice low end. They sound nice and thick.
Mm.
Uh,
We
but
here at FastTrack Music like low end, and we like it thick.
we sure do. Nice album art, by the way.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't
Heat
know. Like
saluting.
that the one that was at the beginning, and then it had that weird like it sounded like like when you do that,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it was like that was on the top of it, and I didn't
Are
like
we
that.
saluting the other way?
Yeah, it
Sorry.
was yeah, it was strange.
I'm trying to
Yes,
be Yeet on the cover art.
I see that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was that bass was a little strange, and then you changed up the bass that you're using like at least 3 different times, where it went from one bass instrument to a totally different one. I'm like, are you deciding which to use like
Mhm.
in the middle of the song, or what's going on? I was just switching back and forth. That I was like, what's the point of this? Also, I thought balance wise, those bass parts were a little bit. They were just like sticking out too much instead of being foundational. They were. Chris, what are you doing? Like,
I was gonna salute.
I see that. Instead of the bass being like a foundational part, it was like the most noticeable part, which was weird because you've obviously got all these other instruments that are kind of just existing, but being like overshadowed by your lowest, hierarchy element, which is weird. Um, but overall, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was kind of basic. The clap, I know what you're trying to do with the rhythm of like all of those kind of hits, but good percussion usually doesn't use the same sound for each of those, snare hits. Either varying it with a slightly different sound. You got it, Chris.
Yep, I think so. Let me know.
either
Let me know.
either varying it with slightly different sounds for those hits, or using like some sort of hat clap combination, or like a snare clap, like something. But the clap, very stock, very one dimensional and flat, and you're just using it over and over for every rhythmic accent in that pattern. So
Hmm.
yeah, just sounds kind of stock. I don't know, vibes. I would give it probably, I don't know, a yellow, like develop, because I
Hmm.
mean, you could develop it, but it'd be a lot of work. Like, honestly, just thinking about our system here a little bit more, like redo is like kind of rethink the way you're putting it together, and I think
Hmm.
that's kind of necessary here.
Hmm.
But I'll say there's some parts that you could just develop. So orange.
Yeah, I think there's a market here for this sound, and I think there's a lot of nice melodies that are happening. I do think that it could be done better. I feel like just in general, my personal first impression was everything kind of just sounds thin, and then the bass. Although Josh thinks it's farty, I think it's kind of unique in this space, but it seems to be way overpowering, and it like I don't know exactly how type beats are mixed and mastered. I feel like what they do is mix it, but they don't master it. They let the person
Dude,
that buys it
actually,
masters it.
it's the same people that run the click farms in India. They're mixing these type beats.
Or, I mean, maybe that might be
I'm
cap.
kidding. It's a
Hashtag
mix.
it's
It's a
not cap.
mix factory,
Yeah, yeah.
pumping out generic type beats for the
And maybe
world.
it's just a fucking AI, but
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised. But
it could
yeah, that
be.
wouldn't be too hard to figure it
This
out.
is
But
gonna be the. By the way, this will be the first thing that is outsourced by like GPT-4 or whatever is
for
type
sure,
beats. Like, just in general, it's the easiest thing to replicate.
yeah. So, yeah, I agree. A lot of it sounds stock, but I do think that you have a nice ear. Whoever did it, it's like Easy James. It's not cap. There's three people on this,
You have a good
but
bass ear, I would say. I like the
yeah,
bass parts the best, I would say.
yeah. Well, I think they were also the loudest, so maybe
They
that's
were
the
the
ooh,
loudest, which is maybe
yeah,
why you're showcasing them. But also from a song perspective, arrangement, it's like, what?
ooga booga. You know,
Yeah, the
we
ooga
like loud
booga,
over here,
the caveman.
but I think there's a lot to like here, but I do think there's a lot to work on. So I'll say vibes is 25% between green and yellow.
Okay.
I think if I were to work on this project as like an engineer or a person, one of these three people, I think a lot of the work is mostly production. But what do you have for content?
Uh, yeah,
You,
content. I don't know. Like, I mean, there's some
you kind of said it,
variation.
yeah.
There's that section in the middle. It's quieter, but overall
Yeah,
stock,
but
kind of
the
basic.
white noise sweep that was there was just like so basic, and it was like so long. It was so extended
Oh
after the
yeah,
buildup was over. It was
yeah.
like, and it was just like what was weird was the white noise sweep right after it that goes back into the beat was like nice and stereo. It was like and it was like up in pitch and it sounded really good as a buildup. But the the one that was in that quiet down section just took center stage and was just like
Yeah, yeah. And even more so, I thought like at the very beginning it starts off with like a super loud white noise type thing that was like,
Mhm,
ooh, like I had to turn down very quickly because of that.
mhm.
Full spectrum.
But um
Score
yeah.
for content though. I mean, I guess my score, for content. I don't know. I'm again kind of in just the orange range. Like if you want to make a really compelling thing, then you probably have to rethink the arrangement and structure.
Mhm.
But if you just want to make a basic generic type beat, then maybe just developing some of the things we talked about is sufficient.
Yep. I'm at 25 as well between green and yellow. Like I said, I think if this was produced better, I could see people buying it. I
Mhm.
personally like there's like when I listen to type beats, I'll be like, okay, let me just see if I can come up with a flow or like a melody to this. And with this one, I think I could. Like and that's already like saying a lot for a type beat. Like there's a
Mhm.
bunch of type beats out there that I can't, like that I don't, you know. So the fact that I'm personally clicking with what you're doing, it's like a decent sign. But it's just like, would I buy it at the end of the day? No, because how it's produced.
Yeah.
Like how would I would have to do a lot of work on my own. Probably impossible because it's probably just a wave like of the master. There's nothing I could do to really save it, so I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah.
And that's what you're trying to do, right?
You know what I
So,
just thought of?
but
Um, I sort of think like, I mean, I'm like, I'll be transparent. I'm not a huge fan of the idea of type beats. Like, I
sure.
think if you're an artist, right, you're trying to make music or art or whatever you want to call it, like I don't know, just like literally having like a prepackaged thing from somebody that you don't know and that you actually haven't worked with. It's fine if you work with a producer and you're like, I'm trying to make this kind of song and like, going through iterations and you have some creative input at least.
Mhm.
Or it's like a collab and you're notating that. But if you're just like basically if you're buying it, whatever, it doesn't matter if you're buying it or downloading it or whatever, you're just taking somebody else's kind of generic output and then kind of trying to make it as fast a process as possible. And I think if you're trying to make the best music, it's not always about just cranking them out one after the other.
Mhm.
Um, and there's a whole debate that could be had about this, but it's almost like buying a coloring book and then coloring it, and like that being your artistic output because it's this mass produced thing that other people are also using the exact same thing on their tracks,
Mhm.
versus like making your own painting. So I don't know, just an analogy I thought of there.
What the fuck was that? Was
Ooh.
that you? There was like a
I don't think so.
okay.
I
There was
heard
like a
something on your end, I thought.
what the fuck?
Somebody
It sounded like
fall.
a I don't know, or like a sub bass maybe. But
Interesting.
what are
Uh,
we on this?
Production?
Okay,
Or
yeah. What do you have?
yeah. Uh, yeah, I think it was more like the loudness of the bass parts, sticking out a little bit. Why are you switching between different bass sounds at random points? The noise problem, the claps not sounding great. Just figuring out some of your levels a little bit more. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. I would say score for that. I'd say production wise, it's like not bad. I'll give it like a 20% between yellow and green.
I'm there too. Yeah, I agree with everything there. It just seems bass heavy, and a lot of the synths sound thin. There's some synths that are like how to, it's like heavily gated. It was like da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. Like I've heard it a little bit, but it was so damn thin and so in the background. And I thought it was like one of the coolest parts of the song, but that and like the melodies that are like panned way out to the left and right, I feel like that's kind of cool, but it's like literally the only things that are out there in the stereo field, so it feels a little bit out of place. Like everything else is kind of just down the center.
Hmm.
I thought those parts were like the coolest parts, but it was just minimized by this fart bass that was just way too loud. So think about it. But yeah, production, I'm at 20% between green and yellow. Overall, 20% between green and yellow. What do you have?
Overall, I think I would say 80% between redo and develop.
There you go.
Maybe even, I don't know, somewhere in that range. I just think it's like, are you trying, like, are you passionate about making type beats, or like do you think you have an idea that you're actually going to make money off of it? Like are you making money off of it? Is it working right now? Do
Probably
you
not.
like the output? Like figure out what you're trying to do, right? Because if you're just like, my friend told me there's a hustle in making type beats, that's probably wrong, right? Unless you're actually making really good type beats, and
Yeah.
then maybe you'll be a top player. But I don't know, it's like if that's not what you're passionate about, if you just want to make music and make art and shit, then you should probably pursue that by either working with artists directly more so, or making your own tracks and putting a little more TLC into it. And I think I would just guess it's probably more fulfilling overall if you're kind of expressing more than just putting Legos together. And then you might actually be more successful and make more money by putting more effort into either type beats, like making fewer rather than more, and or making your own music or working with artists that you believe in. So I don't know, just my perspective, but you don't have to take that as
Yeah.
gospel, as they say. But
Yeah. I mean, I understand the type beat thing. If I'm a beginning rapper or singer or something, I'm like, oh,
yeah,
I'd
sure.
really love to try to do something like this. I love what he's doing right now in the game or something.
Yeah, it's
Or Kanye.
like a backing track, like in other
Yeah.
genres. That's what you call it. It can be useful for the learning process and whatnot. I just sort of
Yeah.
think like people fool themselves a lot about like I'm a like I don't know, like placing a lot of
Bro.
emphasis on I make type beats and therefore like I'm a producer. Like that's
Yep.
one thing, but the other side of it is like I can be a popular artist by just taking type beats and rapping over them, and like that almost never works, especially these days.
Yeah.
So it's just like you got to be honest about what the end product is, I think.
Sure, sure, sure. I mean, I've seen, I don't know, like I've seen type beat people that I've bought beats from, that I've seen big, like huge artists like Trippy Red and this guy named Curtains.
Hmm.
Um, he bought, like, Trippie Redd's a huge artist, and he bought,
Yeah.
I don't even know if he bought it. He must have bought it or something, but he got a type beat,
He stole
that
it.
one of the ones that I wanted to buy, actually. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't even know if it was an exclusive license that he bought it for, but he put it on his album and like probably made millions. So I
Yeah.
think the type beat thing here makes sense. Like, as an industry, um, I get it. It's kind of like McDonald's music, but
Yeah.
a lot of music is like that.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Sometimes it's just a catchy thing to people.
Yeah.
Um,
Sure.
so I don't uh, share the exact sentiments that Josh does, which is fine. But
Mhm.
I do think there's a right way to do it. Um, but yeah, let's get on to Sauki. Sauki's been waiting.
Yeah, let's do it.
Um,
Yes, so our abstract glitch is your, I guess,
yeah,
your official artist
thank you,
name, and
Easy, by the way, for submitting. Appreciate
yep,
it.
love to hear it.
Mhm. But okay, so abstract glitch. Shouts out to
Whoa,
abstract.
crazy
What's that?
looking waveform.
Oh, I gotta see it. Hold on. Broken system, work in progress. This song was made with a high tech vibe, more like my name, Abstract Glitch. Hope you like it. Yay.
It looks high
Uh,
tech.
Abstract Glitch. Oh yeah, this waveform will go crazy. All right. Like the visuals here. Sauki, you're in the chat. So also this is final.
He
Uh,
says, "Oh wait, why?
is this the wrong one?
Oh, okay, he sends a different one.
Okay.
All good. Thanks for catching that.
Wait, what did they say?
They sent a new link.
Let me see. Abstract Glitch, broken
Oh,
system. What the fuck?
wait, what?
Okay. It's this one.
Okay,
It's this little cat snail thing. All right.
thanks.
That's the more serious one. I'm
Yes.
glad we got that. Okay. All right. So, let us know, since you're here. Like, if there's anything in specific that you have, like, want specific feedback on, just let us know. But you ready?
Yep.
Last song, Abstract Glitch, Broken System. 3, 2, 1. Shout out Gatto Call.
Is this the keyboard cat snail?
Hi. It's been a long time. Welcome to Aperture
Whoa.
Laboratories. Let's do some testing.
Oh, Portal. We get in trouble if you try to release this.
Error. System override. The system has been permanently damaged. The system will factory reset to 10, 9, 8, 7.
I like the
6,
intro.
5,
A little long.
4,
Little
3,
suspense.
It might be ripped off from Portal.
1.
Like,
Yeah.
straight up.
System restored successfully. Welcome home.
Whoa.
Hey. What the fuck? Alright.
I like those sounds. Yeah.
It's like Robo Bubbles. Gosh, you know what time it is, bro? I didn't think we'd get there. I didn't think we'd get there, but we're here, baby. Yes, sir. Where's my Red Bull? Let's go.
Yep.
It's pretty hard.
Ooh,
Love that little cowbell.
that change up is sick. Wow.
God damn, this production's awesome.
That's really cool, dude. and then that relief hi-hat. Oh my god.
Oh man, this is bubbly thing.
This is crazy.
What is that, side chaining? Just like the whole entire beat there?
I don't know,
Ooh, some
yeah.
melody, some melody, some melody.
It's like a spaceship, man.
Okay, there you go. Just when I thought it was starting to get a little bit repetitive, he puts in some melodies here. Yeah, nice.
Oh, it's
Isn't
so
that
cool.
fat kick? Isn't that fat kick?
Oh man.
The percussion is fantastic. It sounds so clear too.
That lift where it cuts out feels like a roller coaster.
And its little melody here. Are you a drummer? Oh. Nice little melody here.
Yeah, nice piano part. Ooh, that harmony. Fifths.
Wow.
Or fourths?
It seems a little bit quieter than everything else.
Thank you.
Just in
God.
general. I don't know if that's stylistic choice. You're welcome.
The thank you is like, I don't know. I was like in the zone of this is really cool, and that was a little corny maybe. But dude,
Yeah.
the whole thing is so dope.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Ooh, that was a
Wow,
ride.
I did not know what to expect, but
Man.
Sauki Music, thank you very much. No, haha, I'm not a drummer. Really? The percussion was just phenomenal. Like I feel like that's what was the focus of this song, but cool. Josh, what do you have?
It's
What up?
in
What is it?
A
Balenci
minor.
Belly?
Man. Yeah, that was really cool. I mean, I just
Clean mix, man. Clean.
yeah, really awesome like
Well done.
sound design stuff going on here.
Mhm.
There's like all those kind of water-ish sounds
Yeah.
and like think like it's like a drop like a water droplet sound and like something that's a little bit glassy. And they're just I love when things are like those sound design elements are interspersed so like tightly woven that they just make a completely unique timbre. Like literally nothing like you've ever heard before. Like what's even cooler is that when you take that and turn it into something musical that has the musical value as well as the sonic value, then it's like damn, there's like nothing else like this. And that's a big part of what makes people latch on to like a new artist they haven't discovered is like there's nowhere else that I can get this, right? Like whatever that artist is delivering, whether it's their vocal style or their lyrical delivery or just the way the track is composed or whatever, that's how artists get listeners is by being unique
Oh, was it
and
feedback?
obviously having the the quality standards as well. Um but yeah, sorry, there's just stuff going on in
Oh,
the
it is.
chat.
Okay. Sorry. I'm
Um
trying to figure it out.
but yeah, I mean, this is like really interesting. I sort of liked the intro. I wasn't aware of the source. I don't know if it would change anything, like if I knew where it was from. Uh, the legal side is a different thing, you know. Is there going to be an issue with that? Who knows? But I thought it added some nice suspense. It's a little bit different than the track just starting out and going straight into the music. You know, can be
Sure.
refreshing. But if you're listening, well, yeah, I don't know. I thought it added, suspense leading up to the track, and then it did pay off at that drop. Like
Mhm.
when that drop happens, man, is it
That was
cool?
awesome. Yeah.
And the parts where it
Smile on my
left,
damn face.
yeah, the parts on the waveform, and I was impressed also by the fact that those sections of the waveform where it comes down a little bit,
Mm.
it's like they're not just there. Obviously, they're not just there for like aesthetics, like purposefully. Like they actually provide some real value and like a let up from the chaos, and you're
Yeah.
like, it really was like a roller coaster. I think I said that before.
Yeah.
Um, and there's like drops and then like stable parts, whatever. And even I think in the third loud section, there was a point where like there's an unexpected dropout of the one of the drum parts, and it kind of like sucks through. And that to me felt exactly like being on a roller coaster where you first start to feel the like grab the G direction change and it like hits your stomach. I don't know why that occurred to me, but that was really cool.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. It was definitely a journey. I liked it a lot. Vibes. I think I'd probably just give it a green, pretty much.
Yeah, I think this is full out green too. I think this
Yeah.
is really cool. It's funny because we seem to like maybe approach or appreciate music in a different way. Like so with the intro, for example, everything's subjective, people. But I was just listening back to it. I was like, okay, if I were you, where would I cut it? Because you're uploading this on SoundCloud. I figure my experience on any other streaming platform is the same. If I listen to the first 5 seconds, maybe 10 seconds, I don't know, of a song,
Mm,
and I don't like it, I'm skipping it. And
mm-hmm.
so that's why I'm like to say be cautious on the intro here.
It's a good point. Yeah.
And like I think where is it? Where it says "Welcome home," ding, like I think that's where you should just cut everything off. This is like what my advice would be to you, but cut everything off before that. Say "Welcome home," ding, like I think that'd be fantastic. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. That was the purpose. I'm very happy that they took it that way. Um, took what way? Uh, but anyways, who's they? Us. Uh, anyways, yeah, super high energy. Percussion was super tight. All the sound choices sounded really good. Mixed was just fantastic. Um, these parts in the waveform that Josh is talking about, these little roller coaster ones, I didn't have high hopes for them. When you make something super obvious like that, even just looking at it, I'm like, oh god, what is this going to be?
Yeah.
But I think
Sometimes.
you pulled them off really well. Like it was fantastic. Near the end of the second drop, where I was kind of like, oh, okay, maybe this is just all it is. Do I really need another drop of this? You started putting in some melody. Um, the melody was simple, both in like musical structure and loudness. It was quieter. It was very stock sounding, but you said that as stylistically. I could kind of give it a pass there. I do wonder if you made it as kind of lush and big as the drums, though. I get why you do it, though. There is a vibe in doing it that way. Kind of goes with that kind of robot in the beginning. I feel like just like a very simple, stock sounding robotic kind of melody that's happening. Oddly enough, goes with this cat that keeps staring at me too. So I get it. But I just wonder if you had that same kind of professional lush sound with that you do on the drums and the bass, what is it going to sound like on the synths? Like you might just be able to make something fantastic. So all that to say, I really love this. We have a lot of there's a lot of high energy here, and there's a theme here on Fast Track Fridays. It seems to be every week, and it seems to be the last song where it's like party music, man. Like you just want to go crazy with this. I say BC some RBs. You just want to drink a Red Bull in a certain way that gets the energy faster. I'll let you guys figure out what the acronym is. By the way, this
God,
track was
you
started
might need
today
a
at
funnel.
10 today. You're crazy. You might need a funnel, whatever you want to use, a hose. I don't know.
One
Um,
of those turkey based, those things.
God,
Yeah.
all right. Hey yo,
Whatever
we
floats
good.
your boat.
Yeah,
Whatever
yeah,
tickles your
whatever.
peach.
Yeah, whatever. Oh God, yeah, good one, good one.
Yeah.
But
Here all
yeah,
night.
that was
Just kidding.
impressive, man. My vibe is green. Content. What do you have for content?
Yeah, man. The content again so unique. Like this is like the sound choices, the way things are stitched together, the arrangement. Just I think I already kind of talked about it in vibes, but yeah, it's really fun to listen to. It's engaging. Uh I didn't really feel like there were parts that went on too long. I think it stayed variable enough and it set up the expectation that things were going to change. So, yeah, I think it was good on that front. I can't really think of much more for content. Um, I would probably just again give it probably a green. I think there's a lot deserving of that here. Like it takes a lot to put together these kind of sound design things and these intricate percussion parts and to get like a really unique sound. So
Yeah,
props to you.
yeah, I think it's really good. Like I said, percussion's fantastic sounding. The bubbly sounds sound fantastic too. Just for me, it's the melody stuff. Like it seems like you're like from the end there, I feel like you do know what you're doing in melody, and I would love to hear it kind of splashed out through the rest of the song a little bit more, with a little bit more character, and kind of matching that energy of the drums. I get why you did it though stylistically. So for me, it's like 95 between green and yellow. It's pretty much good to go. It's almost just like a what is it, like a taste thing. That's all. I could totally see this kind of being a professional. So production, it's kind of similar. Uh, just I think the melodic parts could be a little bit louder. Um, Again, I understand stylistically that it's there, but just my personal taste, I think it could have been louder, especially at the end there. Um, like it could even be like a volume issue where you had to turn it up if you wanted to hear it, but I didn't have to do it, so maybe I'm looking too much into it. Maybe it's not that deep. Production 95 between green and yellow. What do you have?
Yeah, that was really the only thing I had for production too. Was just those melody parts should, I think, should be a little louder. It's sort of like just like a visual metaphor when something's like out of focus, or like, again, it's just the percussion, the bass elements are like right here, right in front of you, which is great because I think it makes sense for the majority of this. But the melody parts are like in the background. It's weird because usually melody should be also kind of at least on par with the rest of the that plane. So yeah, it would definitely help to beef those melodies up a little bit, make them a little bit louder, a little bit closer sounding, so we can really get the melody as being a focal point and not just like a background element that we're really struggling to hear, to try to
Mhm.
focus on. Um, but yeah, other than that, and like one thing I'm thinking, I thought that the mix sounded good. Um, that the loud, parts here are a lot, and I would just make sure that they don't overload a system in like a car or something that has like a real subwoofer. Um, I would definitely test this out in different systems because you're hitting up against those limits of kind of your noise ceiling. So just, yeah, be careful with with that aspect. But yeah, other than that, it sounds great. It's really really fun to listen to again. So production, I think I would say 90%.
Hmm. Overall track total, I think this is, like I said. So if I were you, if I were working on this, the hard edits I would make is cut the intro until "Welcome Home," ding, like right there. That's all you need, I think. Uh, Melodies, man. If you made it big as the drums are, I think personally this is a difference between a green and purple.
Yeah,
Um, so just take that
definitely.
with consideration. I understand stylistically what you want to do, though. It is your song. So with all that being said, I'm like at a 95% green, between green and yellow, good to go. But yeah, this is a really enjoyable listen.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I was going to say the same, 95%. Really cool. Love to hear it. Hope to hear more from you. This is like super interesting shit, and I wonder what else you've made or will make. So feel free to send us more shit that you're working on. We'd love to hear it.
Appreciate you. And that's the last track. I see Balenci Baby and Chakraden Bro. You guys have submissions. We will get to you guys, but unfortunately not today. It'll be next week. We do have a longer queue, so there's a way to skip the free queue if you guys want to get feedback right away. We can't do it today, but next time, just tune back in and we'll get to your song.
Yes. Um, yeah. So as you may or may not know, if you're here before, we stream every Friday from 5:30 to 7:30 Central. So we're a little bit over that now. We usually get through 5 to 6 songs. We have a pretty long queue because a lot of people want feedback on music because it's valuable. And again, if you want to be first next week, you can use the tip link now if you want, or then, and we'll get to everybody that submits, but it'll probably be in at least 2 weeks if you are in the free queue, just based on the number of people that are in there right now. So yeah, again, thanks for everyone for joining. Love always hearing the variety and getting a little bit of BCRB
Yeah,
towards the end, usually somehow.
gotta love it.
It's fun being here on Fridays with y'all and just hearing all the different genres and what you're working on and helping you
Yeah,
improve. So yeah,
friends
make sure
from
to
near and
follow us.
afar.
Yeah, make sure to follow us on Instagram. That's FastTrack_music. That's kind of our home base. People who get the top tier tracks, which we had 2 of last week, get featured on there, and you could as well. And we also have playlists that showcase all of that stuff. Links are in our description there. And then follow us on Twitch so you can get notified when we stream, go live, so you can come back, get feedback, find out when we're going over your song that you may have submitted today. And last thing, we have a link on our Instagram for our Discord, or you can use, I think that there's Discord command somebody used today in the chat. And that is slowly growing, so feel free to join that if you want as well. But Chris, you got anything else?
Nah, man, I'm good. Let me go get some BCRB.
Dope. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great Labor Day weekend. Hopefully you have off on Monday.
Yeah, perfect. Another day to BC some RB. All right. All right.
Exactly.
FD,
That's
fam.
what we're all using it for.
Oh, shit. My headphone just unplugged. We're done here.
All right. We're done here. Thank you, everyone. See you next week. Peace out.